So we're so excited to be here. My voice is a little under the weather, so I apologize for that. I had to take this mic because I need to move. I can't just stay still. It's that K-12 teacher thing. But today we're going to be presenting on K-12 LTI tools and increasing the usage of your district resources, things that you already have. So we're going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about us.
So we're New Caney ISD. We're a fast growth district. You can see our demographics up on the board. 10 elementary schools. We're opening one elementary school every school year. So we have one opening this year and the other one is being built for the following school year. 4 middle schools, 3 high schools, and 2 alternative campuses. One credit recovery and then the other one is a disciplinary campus.
In our enrollment, we have just over 15,000 students, and we're considered a fast growth district, a district in Texas, and so we're growing every year. So our mission briefing for today. We're first going to identify our critical target area. Then we're going to go through some of our NCISD field exercises. We're going to give you an overall status report, and then we're going to talk about the protocols for success.
So our goal was we wanted to make sure that we're using all of our resources effectively, maximize our funds. We had some budget cuts and we wanted to make sure that everything that we had was being used. And so when we were out presenting, something that we'd always hear was, I didn't know we had that. How do we access that? What's the password for that? And we quickly realized that teachers don't have time to go to multiple programs to find things. We wanted to find a way to make it easily accessible for them. So we went towards evaluating the usage and effectiveness of our programs so that it would lead to increased student outcomes in all of our programs.
And if you're a K-12 district, I'm sure you have similar growing pains that we do, and financial issues. That a budget's a big deal, and so when you're looking for software and programs, you want to make sure that you're getting the use out of it, and that was something that we definitely wanted to address. So our critical target area, the resources that we looked at that we were paying for, that we wanted to really evaluate, are textbooks, number one. And our databases, and a lot of our other paid programs that were for creative software and just additional resources for teachers. And when we looked at those things, like LaSonya was saying, we would go out and talk to teachers and tell them about all these wonderful things that we have available to them, and they're like, we have what? No clue where to find it. So these are definitely the areas that we wanted to target for increased usage. So our solution to this, we adopted Canvas. We just finished our first full year with Canvas. We did a soft rollout in the spring the year before that. We decided that we were going to use Canvas as basically our area for everything. Everything was going to connect to Canvas. That was going to be our solution. LTI tools, because that allows us to connect things and let them talk to each other. And this solution was great because it increases the ease of access and the ease of access for teachers to access all of their resources. And the other thing we wanted to look at was the tool location, where the tool was placed inside of our system to make it meaningful and actionable. I don't know where it went on that side. Yeah, so just we'll look here. Okay. So, our jargon for the mission, just some things. How many of you are familiar with LTI tools? Like you're like expert, like you're all awesome. Okay, fantastic. How many of you are like, LTI tools, what? This is totally new. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over some basic language that you'll need to know. What exactly am I talking about when I say an LTI tool? LTI means Learning Tools Interoperability. And you can find a lot of information on this on the IMS Global site. They're the ones that kind of the developers and behind the scenes on making these the process to make the tools. The other thing we're going to talk about is tool placement. And inside Canvas, not all tools are created alike. And it's really important to understand tool placement and the value you get where a tool is placed. So for those of you who don't know, a tool can be placed in an assignment, in a discussion. It can be placed like a page, or just in a module, different areas, or in the course navigation, and they all mean something different. And so if someone says to you, yeah, we do LTI, you really want to make sure what that means and where that tool is going to live. The other language, the other things you need to know, TCC and LTI, thick and thin common cartridges. That's another thing that is out there that kind of work in conjunction with LTI, where it's a package of resources that you can then pull and then plug into your environment to then have teachers like load into modules and things of content. And it operates differently than just a strict LTI tool where you're searching for content and then pulling it and plugging it in. So, so when they say to you, yeah, we do LTI, you really want to ask, what does that integration look like? And is it a cartridge with an LTI, or is it just cloud-based? I can search for what I want and get it and plug it in. We have a graphic, and this is from IMS Global and the Celtic Project. And if you want to really understand how this all works together, and you can find this graphic on there online, it's fantastic. It shows you how it works together. So you have your platform, right? Your LMS, that's where everything's going to go. And then you have these vendors over here. And then you have maybe your student information system over here. You got everything, and you have your teachers and your users on the back end. So the tool talks to Canvas and allows the data to flow in between the two. And what's great about having tools that have like passback is that the data can not only go into Canvas, but it can also take the data that's coming from that tool, go back and come back into Canvas. It's directional, bidirectional, go both directions. So you can then pull grades from a tool that does like a quiz or something, and it's graded, it's 10 points. Those 10 points will then drop into your Canvas gradebook. And that's a really important thing to look for, because the reason we're doing this is to streamline the workflow for teachers. If this adds another step for teachers, then why are we doing it? You really want to make sure those tools are meaningful in a classroom.
So the field exercises that we did was we had to learn everything about LTI and how they function. We are not programmers. We knew nothing about programming. We rolled out Canvas last year to 6 through 12. We had to learn it just like our teachers did. The Canvas community is amazing. Everything that you ever thought about, someone has amazingly thought of it before us. Mm-hmm. And some of them have step-by-step directions, and they tell you exactly what you need to. And the really great people have a video. Yeah. And it's amazing. So if you have not used it, look videos, reach out to other people, use your CSM. Ours is Carly. She's amazing.
She just had a baby.
Yeah, she just had a baby, so she's not here. But she's absolutely amazing. And she put us in contact with other people, or she helped us. So reach out to people around you that are also using Canvas and LTIs and meet together to talk, because that's been a key feature for us. We also had to understand how the teachers and students need the tools to function. It's one thing for us to put them in the way we think that they're going to function, but we have media specialists on our campus that meet with our teachers and train them. And based on the feedback that we get from them, and also from going out on the campuses and working with the teachers, that helped us know what we were going to need from them. And then lastly, collaborate with your vendors to improve the tool functionality. I'm going to let Greta talk a little bit more about that.
So basically, this is, we're the digital learning department, and there's 3 of us in that department, and we're kind of like, we just listen across the wire for what's happening, and we're the Canvas admins, and it's important to kind of step back and view your role as a teacher first, and an admin kind of second, and like everything you do has to benefit your consumers, and that's your students and your teachers. And so what we do is we kind of listen to everything that everyone is saying. And we want to hear it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. So we have media specialists that are in every single one of our campuses, and they work and train all of their teachers and deal with all kinds of integration on their campus into the curriculum. And what we do is we also listen to the teachers and what they're saying. And when they tell us that a tool is not functioning, or I don't want to do that, like it puts points into here, or I have to then take a screenshot of this, and that doesn't work, or the tool, actually I need it in navigation because that's the way my students are going to access it. It doesn't make sense to have it here. we need to actually listen to what they're saying, but not only say like, yeah, that's the way the vendor did it and that's the way it is. We have to be in action for change to make it better. We can't just say that it is the status quo and continue. We need to change it. Also, we listen to the students when the students are saying that's complicated or I don't understand, that's too many clicks. We need to listen to them as well. And the other key component is our curriculum department. We work very, very closely with our curriculum team. We're in the same department. We're under curriculum, actually. And everything that we do, we involve them so that they understand how the tool functions, because if they don't know how things work and they don't know how things operate in Canvas, when they do PD with their teachers don't understand it either. So it can't just come from like technology. It has to come from all angles. And that plays right into our tools, because our resources, the curriculum specialists go out there and they find great resources. And they're like, this is amazing. And they come back and we're like, yeah, but there's no way to get the kids in. And that program wants the kids to like click here and then click an avatar and then put in a passcode. And we're like, nobody's going to use it. Like it's going to be a program we buy and it's going to sit on the shelf and it's going to not get any usage. Why are we going to spend money on it? So what we've actually done is we've created, between the curriculum specialists and us and anyone that wants to purchase a program, is that you call us first. We've trained people that like, you call us. Send us an email, a hangout, something. Just let us know what you're looking at, and we'll make the phone calls for you. We will reach out, and we will talk to those companies first. And our first question to them is, number one, do you work with Canvas? Do you have an LTI tool? And if they say no, then our conversation is very short. If they say, what is that? We can explain it. And if they're willing to kind of listen more, then the conversation continues. If they have one, that's another conversation. What does it look like? Because again, like I said earlier, when they say, yeah, we have a tool, awesome, it may not function exactly as you want it to. So this is kind of what we do, and it's really important to reach out to all these parties involved and not just blindly add tools to your environment because you think it's great. You have to understand how it works at the teacher level. So after doing this for a year, we want to give you a little bit of a status report where exactly we are. And we actually have some numbers to back up things that we're saying. These are some of our targeted tools that we put in that we could really track data on. And I'll go through each one. This is the percent increase from the 15-16 school year, no Canvas. We had these tools, teachers didn't know where they were, to the 16-17 school year when we put things into Canvas. So this is pretty big for us in terms of teachers are now actually using some things that we've always had. Our Britannica, so like encyclopedias, you know as well as I do, teachers tell the kids, go do some research. And they may go to Wikipedia, they may go somewhere online, they're going to go to Google. We have these fabulous databases and encyclopedias that have all the things that they need. But they weren't going to it. We put it in Canvas, and now we have our usages up 75% across the board. And that's pretty amazing that we're like, they're actually using a verified source. Woohoo, that's what we wanted. And WorldBook, another one, that's jumped 156%. Our databases, now this one here, we have in Texas, we have like a database subscription, the TextQuest. This is the Gale databases, and they don't have an LTI tool yet, but we are talking to them about building theirs. What we did was we got creative with the redirect tool. How many of you love the redirect tool? If you don't know what the redirect tool is, raise your hand. Anybody? Okay, the redirect tool is your best friend. So if you have a resource that is amazing, okay, you can still get it into Canvas. Just because they don't have an LTI tool, you don't give up. You talk back and forth to that vendor until you find a way. So our databases, Gale databases, they all had a password and a username, and that's why people weren't using them because they couldn't remember what it was. So what we did was we got creative with the LTI tool. We put them into a Google site because we could protect that inside of our environment for only New Caney ISD. And then once I assured Gale that that was a site that only our domain could access, they gave us password embedded URL. So when they clicked on it, it took them directly into that resource. And then what we did, the redirect tool, you can get it in the apps and you can add as many as you want. You can put in a URL and it puts it into your navigation in your course. And then so when the kids click on it or anyone clicks on it, it takes you and it embeds it in Canvas if it allows you to. And so what they did now is the databases, and they clicked on it, all the databases, and we pushed it into every course. We didn't give them a choice. You have a course, you have databases. Doesn't matter if it's a PD course, a teacher course, student course, y'all have the databases. It says right on there, a research portal. They click in it, they see all the databases, and we sorted them by like science, general, everything. We put it all in there for them. They click on it, no login, signs them right into whatever they want. And the nice thing about that is when they took a link, a teacher took a link from Gale, as long as they did from the special bookmark in the Gale database, and they put it inside of any assignment, when the kids clicked on it, it logged them completely into it, inside of the course, in line with where the assignment was, so they didn't have to tell the kids, click on this, then click on this, then find this, then research this, and then scroll down to this page right here. It was all there for them. So they were loving that, and they were using it. So, and a lot of things that we heard from teachers were like, these are amazing. We have like 15 databases. There's full ebooks in here. And we're like, yeah, we've had them like for a couple of years. I had no idea. Put them in here. And they're like, it's right there. They tell the kids, just click right there. It's right in there. You don't have to go anywhere. Turn it in. I'm going to tell you that we've had Turn It In for several years. And teachers weren't using it. And I think it's a fabulous resource. It's amazing. But our teachers were not using it because it was one more step for them. We put it in Canvas, and that does, and the kids can use it for originality reports. There's grammar checks, all kinds of things in it. I'm sure you're familiar with Turn It In. But we put it in Canvas, and we did some training, and amazingly, they were like, they're using it. So that's another thing we'll talk about a little bit later, too, is what these usage numbers mean to us. Teaching books, that's basically everything you need to teach a book except for the book. And so teachers are going to Teachers Pay Teachers and buying things, and we're like, oh, we have it. And they're like, what? Yeah, like the book talks, everything, we have it. And now it's in Canvas, and they actually do have an LTI tool that plugs right into it. And Discovery Ed is another one. Teachers were not going out to Discovery Ed because of passcodes and this and setting up accounts and classrooms and all that. We put it in Canvas where they can drop the tool directly inside of their assignments in line with where they want. They also have it on the side in the navigation so a kid can just go and look at their leisure at whatever interests them, they can look at it. So teachers are now using that too because we put it inside Canvas. So we're super stoked about this, and this is helping us to move forward. A couple of other things that we don't have specific numbers for. We have a lot of anecdotal evidence, and we're actually looking at some things this year about how we can get some better data. Our textbooks, the ones that we have that we could put into Canvas, we did. And from talking to teachers and our curriculum specialists, they are being used more. Now they don't have to go through other programs that we put them in here, but I don't have any hard numbers for you. I wish I did, but I don't. And BrainPop is another one. They're revamping their admin panel to get better data. But that one we put in to Canvas, and I'm going to let LaSonya let you know how we know they're using that one.
Because BrainPop had an issue, and it didn't work in Canvas any longer, and all the elementary people started emailing me, like tons of emails. It's not that our media specialists didn't train on these things, it was just another place that they had to go to. But now that it's in Canvas, they see it. It's in their navigation, and now they're more willing to click on it and say, oh, what does that do? How can I use it? It's the ease of use that's there for them. For BrainPop, the way we had it before, our elementary teachers used BrainPop extensively, but it wasn't a very easy process for them to be able to get to it. They had to go through Google, click here to access it. Once I showed them Canvas, that was how am I going to get them to use Canvas and log in and see all the benefits of it? We put BrainPop in there, and I said, if you log into Canvas and go here, it's right here, and all you have to do is click on it, and you can pull up the video. They were like, really? That's it? Sold. And so when it stopped working, for some reason, unbeknownst to us, I got tons of emails. Like the minute it happened, I got like 20 emails. It's not working. So we fixed it. So the ease of use that's available for our teachers, we get emails saying, thank you so much for making it easy for my students to access these programs. Yeah.
And another thing with BrainPop, their integration, the way that it currently works, and we have some things that we'd like to work with them on, and we are in communication with them, but that's a fabulous product. Mm-hmm. But we also wanted a way for our kids to not only have to go to a video of a teacher's choosing inside of a course, that's the way that tool works. We wanted it in the navigation, so just like Discovery Ed, they could go search whenever they wanted to. So don't take it at face value when they say, like, this is where the tool works. We also got with them and did like a password embedded URL to put in the navigation in addition to the LTI tool. So then they had both. So don't limit yourself to, when they say this is the way it is, there's another way to do it. And all you have to do is ask and ask and ask and kind of just discuss together, and you can find a way to do it. Also, we put our library in there. I don't know if anybody out there uses Follett for your library. That has an awesome LTI tool. Has anyone else put that in there? Okay, it's amazing. You put it in there, and when they click on it, it's in the navigation, their whole library comes up, it knows who they are, single sign-on, and knows who they are and everything. And then it tells checkout, all their ebooks are there. They can even read ebooks directly inside of Canvas. They click on it, and it's boom, ebook right there. So if you have some unlimited copy ebooks, your teachers can say, I want to open this book. All your teachers click on it. They're in Canvas, so it's they don't leave the environment, and they're all reading that same book in there. And it saves their backpack because it knows who they are, so if they make notes inside of their books, it's all inside of there. It's a really awesome LTI tool. I'd encourage you to put that one in your environment if you have Destiny. Okay, so this is our year one implementation. Are we good on time?
Okay.
Oh, we are good on time. Okay, so our year one implementation, and we're pretty proud of it. We worked really, really hard, but we've got room for growth. There's always room for growth. That's that growth mindset. We want to do more. We want to make things better. We don't want to accept that what we've done now is the best. We want to continue to improve. But our first year, we did it with primarily secondary and elementary used it more for resources. 65% of our secondary teachers overall consistent usage, and so not too shabby. Our overall usage, we had an increase of resources that were connected into Canvas. And our curriculum department, they're now transitioning all of their curriculum into Canvas. So Canvas is your one-stop shop for everything. And we got creative with that too. And this is the big thing here, that the increased usage of current programs is leading to the purchase of new programs. Because we can now say that if we put it in Canvas, they will use it. They know it's there. So moving forward, we are purchasing programs that connect to Canvas for teachers because they're asking for it, and we know it will get used. And we're going to continue to track that. We're not just going to take it at face value. We're going to make sure that it's getting there.
Protocols for success. We evaluated our current resources. We connected with vendors. I'll have Greta talk about that a little bit more, because we actually had some vendors that did not have an LTI tool that was willing to build one for us. So not just for us, but for you guys also, but they built it so that we can use it. Include the LTI requirements in your contact language. Greta talked about it earlier, but the LTIs look differently. So you need specific details about how it's going to work. Several times, STEM scopes, that's a big thing in our district, taking the videos and sending it to them and saying, this is how we would like for it to work. Can you make yours look this way? And when there's an error, because they built one for us also, and when there was a mistake, taking a video and showing them, this is what's wrong, this is what teachers see, and they are so appreciative to know the way it works. Or doing a hangout with them and showing them, when we click, this is what happens, and this is what teachers will see, and it's a little frustrating for them. Curriculum department, I'm going to talk about it from the elementary. We would not have had the success that we've had if it wasn't for our curriculum department. The fact that we work so closely together and everyone is on the same page. If they go to a PLC meeting, they're getting the same information from the media specialist, from the curriculum department. Everyone knows exactly what they're talking about. When we meet with media specialists, our curriculum specialists attend those meetings. We attend meetings with the instructional coaches, the ELL specialists, so that everyone knows what our goals and what we're focused on for Canvas. And then make sure you evaluate your teachers for feedback.
Yeah, just back to that contract language, you want to make sure that you're specific and not just saying that you have to have an LTI tool. What is that LTI tool going to look like? Again, it goes back to that tool placement and the functionality. Will it do pass back? Because if you have something that has a gradable piece in it, you want that pass back component. So tell them up front. Tell them that's exactly what you want. And if that's not something that they're willing to do, then there are some casualties. There are some things, there's some collateral damage. So this is what happened. So basically, we self-evaluated programs, and if they were, there's some programs that we have on a contractual agreement that we will have for a certain number of years. But if they do not develop a tool at that point, when we reevaluate, there's going to be some people that we're going to part ways with, and we're not afraid of that. And there's some companies that when we reach out to them, like I said, those phone calls, hey, do you have an LTI tool? Yes. Awesome. What does it look like? Well, it does this. Does it do anything else? No. Well, give us a call when it does. And depending on how much we really like that program, we might say, well, is it possible for you to develop something? Is it in the works? Where is it in the works? Can we help you? I think that's the biggest thing that you can do, is say, we will be your testers. You want to build it? You can test with us. We'll make it easy for you. We'll give you some teachers. We'll give you a whole bunch. Whatever you need to make it work, we will work with you on that. And I think that's gone a long way for us. And there's some programs that said, no, we're not interested in building a tool. We're just going to wait. It's okay. Well, just, contact us when you do. And it's just the conversation ends there. So some of the things that we're currently working with, WeVideo. How many of you are WeVideo users out there? Okay, so WeVideo, they are working on an LTI tool. Woohoo, yay, being Canvas. And we're working with them on that because it was something that we demanded before we signed a contract. We're like, nope, it needs to be in Canvas. I'm not having my teachers go log in with Google somewhere else. If kids are going to create projects, I want to be able to turn the projects into Canvas. One-stop shop. Evaluate the rubric, get the feedback, all that inside Canvas. So working with them right now to build that LTI tool and to make sure that LTI tool is functional. It's got to be not just a single sign-on, like I said. It's got to be something where we want it, and teachers and students. Okay. The other one, how many of you are familiar with vocabulary? Vocabulary is pretty awesome. And that's another one that we said, you need to build an LTI tool, or if you don't, we'll talk to you later. And we're working with them as well. They're in their first stages of building one, and they've kind of laid out a roadmap, like we're going to do this piece first, so we can get people in there for single sign-on into Canvas, and then we're moving to this step, but we have a clear plan and communication lines open, and we're not afraid to use those communication lines. We make a lot of phone calls. We do a lot of emails, a lot of hangouts. We will call until you call us back for some things that we just want to make sure that things work correctly for our teachers. Otherwise, why do we have it, and why are we here, and why are we doing something?
And vocabulary is huge for us because the elementary teachers, we were on a trial doing a pilot with them, and they saw that the date was expiring, and I got about 30 emails.
Like 5 minutes.
And I was like, it's not really expiring. It just has to be that date, and then they're going to extend it. And for elementary, that's huge. The fact that they want to use Canvas is huge. But again, our curriculum specialists have worked with them. I've worked with them. It's been a slow rollout in chunks to get them using it, and also moving all of the curriculum documents from Eduphoria. That's what we use in Texas. We use Eduphoria. We're in the process of transitioning curriculum documents from Eduphoria into Canvas and kind of gently pushing them towards using the platform. The more they use it, the more comfortable they're going to become with it, and they'll use it with their students. And other people have built courses where they are actually students in those courses.
LTI, that's your gateway drug for your teachers, and it's the carrot you dangle in front of them to get them in there. Like, it has all your stuff. Why wouldn't you want to use it? So some of our resources in here. How many of you are familiar with the EDU App Store, all the apps and things? So if you're not, if you just go to the EDU App Center, if you just Google that, it's also on the Canvas community. You can find a link for it. There's no internet currently connected into here. But if you go out there, it'll show you all the apps that are out there, things that are paid or free. But don't be discouraged if you don't see something there. That's when those phone calls come into play. You call them, reach out, go to their website, find them, call them, ask them, and then say, build it for me, please. Check out the awesome Canvas community. There's so much in there. Some tools also, if they give you like an XML file, and you can figure out how to tweak the LTI a little bit, you can make it where you want it to be placed in a course. You can't do pass back and things with it, but you can tweak it definitely by just altering the code. And like I said, we're not programmers. We just figured a bunch of things out by having the will to want it to do that. So we made it happen. So you can tweak them so they can appear in the navigation or other places. And then if you have a state agency, kind of reach out, see if there's a support a group or something where they're like kind of working with the state and the legislators and the bills in your state to include LTI standards when they are looking at textbook adoptions. We have that in Texas now, where LTI and one roster and all those things are now being put into bills in the language for adopting resources, so that when we call those vendors and we say you have an LTI tool, their answers should be a little bit more like, we are building one.
Yes.
So because they want to do business with the state of Texas. Start the initiatives yourself. Join. We also started a Houston users group for us called, we call it Chug. I know some members are in here right now, some there. And we talk together. Like, you have power in numbers as K-12. The more of us that call and ask for things, the more likely they are to build it. And the more likely, if you say, call us when you do, or we won't sign a contract when we do, and it deals with money, the more power we have as K-12 users to get things to change for the better of our teachers and students. So that's pretty much it. We're so happy that you came today. If you have any questions, we'll be up here. Feel free to ask us. Yeah. I don't have internet on here. But if you take I'll give you my card. If you want to email me, we'd be happy to do a hangout with you. We'll share our screen, show you what we've done. We're all about sharing.